corporation is a legal entity that's incorporated by a group of shareholders who have ownership of the company through common stock. One of the most important aspects of the corporation and why it's attractive to shareholders is because a corporation has limited liability, meaning that all shareholders may take part in the profits through dividend and stock appreciation, but they're not personally liable for the company's debts. A corporation is commonly referred to simply as a company. A company can either be private or public, but public companies will issue shares in the company through a public offering known as an IPO. The vast majority of companies that do an IPO engage services of investment bankers, the sell side, to help guide the company and provide advice on the process of going public, including timing and the overall valuation of the company. A company can focus on anything it wants. It can manufacture a product, provide a service, or provide both. The company will look to create demand for its products and services and charge its customers for those services, thus creating revenue and increasing its profits. By increasing its profits, it will hope to become more valuable and the stock price will increase. This will be beneficial to the management team, who will also, in all likelihood, have or own shares of the company, and also to its shareholders as their investment will increase. A company will put together a strategic plan and try and execute it to increase its revenue and profitability. To do so, it may need to raise capital in the form of additional equity or new debt. When a company needs to do any type of financial transaction, they will normally look to the help of investment and corporate bankers to provide strategic advice to the company. A corporation will have many levels of management, with those at the top referred to as senior management. This would include positions such as the CEO, CFO, CIO, and many senior vice presidents who typically lead various departments and have people reporting to them. At the mid-level of the company, you will typically have groups responsible for operating the company, including finance and treasury, operations, marketing, investor relations, strategies and acquisitions, procurement and purchasing, and many other groups. The organizational structure of the company can vary significantly from company to company, depending on the size, the industry, and the operating structure. While all companies will have a senior management team leading the organization, most will have a pyramid organizational structure with fewer people at the top and a large workforce or a larger workforce as you descend down the ranks of the company. While Bloomberg has a number of tools that a corporation can use at all levels of the organization, most prevalent will be tools for investor relations and the Treasury Department.
After watching the lesson, you may be wondering who works in corporations and how they use Bloomberg. Click on the blue icons to learn about players in corporations. In a moment, we'll look at examples of how corporations use Bloomberg. Now that you have learned about who works in corporations, let's look at how they use Bloomberg. Imagine you are the corporate treasurer of a firm based in Germany. Your firm expects payment from a Japanese customer upon completion of a large project at the end of 2023. You are looking at the Bloomberg FXSC Go screen for FX forecasts. Click on a ticker in the spot column to see forecast details. If your firm is located in Germany and the customer is in Japan, which ticker should you click to see forecast details? Click on the ticker. Since your firm is located in Germany and the customer is in Japan, you would click the Euro-Japanese Yen ticker for more details. What rates do bank analysts expect the exchange rate to be in 2023? Click Answer when you are ready to submit your response. Correct. The high forecast is 139 and the low forecast is 129. Click Continue to move on. Let's look at another Bloomberg function corporations use. The Bloomberg HDS Go function allows investor relations officers to understand which investors are buying and selling their stock, and that of other companies in their industry. Imagine you are an investor relation officer for Apple Computer, and you need to identify any investor that holds more than 1% of your stock and is selling. First, you will need to determine which tab to use to begin your holder analysis. Hover over the tabs to see a description. Click the tab you would use to identify any investor that holds more than 1% of your stock and is selling. Imagine you are an investor relation officer for Apple Computer, and you need to identify any investor that holds more than 1% of your stock and is selling. First, you will need to determine which tab to use to begin your holder analysis. Hover over the tabs to see a description. Click the tab you would use to identify any investor that holds more than 1% of your stock and is selling. Not quite. You need to look at any investor, which means multiple holders, holding multiple securities, Apple, and others in the industry. The Matrix tab displays a matrix of multiple holders for multiple securities. Next, we need to change mode to manual input mode. This allows you to enter specific securities you want to compare. We will add HP and IBM. Investors holding Apple, IBM, and HP are now showing. Identify investors that hold more than 1% of your stock and are selling. Who is it, and does this reflect their overall view on the Not quite. Incorrect.